Okay, Brad, starting off with number 10. I know a lot of y'all are going to be shocked at the fact that I literally picked this figure to come in at number 10, but I'm not even going to lie to y'all. I actually like this figure. Now, I know a lot of y'all are going to be like, Guppy Boy, SH Figure Arts, let alone Naruto, you don't like shonen. You don't like SH Figure Arts. You're more of a harem etchy hentai type of nigga. Brez. Yes, but let's be real. Not only is Sakura one of our first waifus that we fell in love with back when Naruto premiered here in the States back in not 20, but 2004-5-ish, going on to 6. Somewhere in between 2003 to 2007 is when Naruto first premiered here. And when we first seen any of the other Naruto females in the show, Sakura was our first, well, actually Sakura and Ino was our first two crushes. Mainly Ino over Sakura, but Sakura was one of them. If you didn't like Ino, you loved Sakura. If you didn't like Sakura, you liked Ino. But Sakura, this ain't about Ino, but this is about Sakura. But Sakura is one of our top tier waifus. And since she doesn't technically have any figure like that of her other than the trash ass McFarlane that came out, this right here is the best Sakura figure you will ever get. On top of that, for this being her first actual anime figurine that's posable, is pretty damn good. They did her justice. She looks way fucking better than that god awful ass prototype that them niggas did back in 20, I want to say 14, 15. And bruh, this shows you that figure arts, hopefully when it comes to their anime figures, hopefully they're willing to stop putting all their effort into the Dragon Ball line and actually put effort into the other anime like lines that they have, because people just think SH Figure Arts is just simply DBZ. It's not. They have multiple different anime brands on underneath their branches. But Brez, hopefully the amount of effort that they put into Sakura, I hope they do that for their Idol Masters, their Faye, if we ever get that figure released. Hopefully they do a good job with all of their other SH Figure Arts, especially the females. Because when it comes to their female figures compared to their male figures, there is something always off. It's either the paint is cheap and chips like hell, or the plastic is cheap and it breaks so goddamn easily, or there's something off about the likeness of the character isn't all that good. Like, I don't know why, but it's like every time when they do an anime figure, especially when it comes to the females, it's something about the face that is off. It's either too glossy and looks like a bootleg, or it doesn't look like the character at all. But I can honestly say Bandai has done stepped up and finally is finally doing good on anime figures that are not Dragon Ball Z, and that's shocking, but at the same time it is amazing. Now hopefully we can get them to do better on other animes and stop putting all their focus into that. But on top of that, another thing, bruh, not only is this a beautiful figure of a beautiful waifu, but hey, if you get this figure, you could also create your hentai dojin Sakuras. So this figure is a top, I want to say at least an 8, a 7. I'll give it a 7. It's a 7. It's a 7.5, because you can make hentai Sakura, especially when them new bodies drop from Cal Productions. So I hope you guys know that hentai Sakura is on the way. Coming in at number 9 is Mona from Genshin Impact, made by the Bro, I was gonna say the hentai gods. Hold on, let me go. Let me redo that. Made by the anime figure gods, Figma. Now, as much hate as everybody has been giving Figma this year, I'm gonna just tell y'all right now, this figure right here is so fucking perfect. Like, everything about it is beautiful. Like, I don't know nothing about Genshin Impact, but I do know that this character is a very popular character. Everybody is in love with her, and Figma did a very good job catching the likeness, which they always do when it comes to anime figures, because they're the best anime figure company. And I'm not gonna let nobody tell me otherwise, because that's a fact. Now, with that being said, this figure right here shows you why Figma is the greatest company, because just everything on this figure is beautiful. Like the way that they painted the figure and they sculpted her. Like you can see how the paint perfectly blends from the top of her hat throughout the rest of her clothes. It blends into a different color and it all goes together just like how it does in the game. And on top of that, she has that beautiful face. She literally looks like she walked out of Genshin Impact. Everything about this figure is beautiful. Now, with that being said, only gripe is that when about this figure is when you lean her back, you can kind of see the gapage, which I went over that in the review. You can see the gapage in her chest. But like I said, these are collectibles. They're meant to pose and put on the shelf. It ain't like you're going to be like, I know a lot of people want to do toy photography, but that's not what these figures are for. These are not toys. These are collectible figures. Now, I will say Mona, this is the greatest Mona figure. I don't think we have many posable figures of, well, we don't got no posable figures of her. And the rest are all statues. But with this being her first posable figure, I will say that it came out perfect. Everything about it is beautiful. And with that being said, we're going to move on to the next. This is number 9. It's time to see who comes in at number 8. Coming in at number 8 in the review is not only a top tier waifu, but the waifu, the queen. The queen. I don't know how to introduce this. Let me start over. Let me start over. Coming in at number 8 is the queen of thick thighs save lives. Raisin Stout in Brez. Yo, I'm not even gonna lie. This figure right here is not only is she waifu material, but Brez, this figure was done perfectly. This again shows you that Figma is the best figure company. Is not only just when it comes to making anime figures, but when it comes to making female figures, because as we know, a lot of companies don't really show female characters that much love. It's like when you have a company and they release a certain lines of figures, they'll release a bunch of fucking male figures and like a bunch of crazy male figures, and you may get 1 or 2 females per line. But Figma is that one action figure line, or I ain't gonna say action figure, is that one figure collectible line. They will berate you. That, bro, I might be saying that wrong. They will literally just like throw female figures at you nonstop, and it is beautiful. This is one of the reasons why I love Figma, because they give us female characters, not just female figures, but female characters from not only anime, but video games, movies, all like just in general. They give us female characters in general. And that's one of the things that I've heard people complaining about Figma is, oh, all they do is they focus on female figures. They don't do nothing but just make girl figures, hentai figures, and schoolgirl figures, Hatsune Miku's. If female figures didn't sell, then they would go bankrupt. Like, bruh, like they make female figures because there's hardly any like Raisin Stout. I kind of went into a type like a rant, a mini rant. I'm not gonna try and make this into a rant video, but Brez, this right here is one of Figma's best, if not their top best figures out of 2022. Like Nothing else compares to this. Like this is a beautiful figure that you can throw in with any of your collection. It can go with your Konosubas, it can go with your Zeldas, any type of anime fantasy type of characters, or just fantasy in general, unless it's like, say, like realistic, like He-Man type shit. This right here can go in any type of collection, like fantasy collection that you have. It can go with anything. It's beautiful. She's done beautiful, not to mention she's very sexy and she's thick with not two, but three C's. She's thick with three C's, bruh. She is like, bruh, Raislin is top waifu, and this figure is beautiful. Like everything about it is done beautifully, and she comes with a ton of accessories, which throws her on this list as one of the best figures of 2022. Like, now, I know a lot of people may complain about the price, but for what you get, the price is actually decent. And if you want this figure, go out and pick her up before she goes up in price, because she will, well, she already is at 120 to 130. Now, if you want this figure, just go out and get it. Go out and get her before she hits the 200 mark. She's already around 90 to 130. And that's just the regular version. The DX version is already like 150. So the regular version is like in between like 90 to like 115, 120, in between 90 to 130. So go out and get her before she hits higher, or else you won't be getting her at all. She's beautiful and she is waifu material. Now, going into the next list. Okay, coming in at number 7 is my baby, bruh. Now, we all grew up on Yu-Gi-Oh! And anybody that has grew up on Yu-Gi-Oh! Already knows that Dark Magician Girl is waifu of all waifus of popular mainstream anime. Well, I ain't gonna say waifu of all waifus, but everybody who watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Fell in love with Dark Magician Girl. And not only that, this figure right here is the beautiful Dark Magician Girl made by the great anime model kits gods, Kotobukiya, which is the best anime model kit, the best anime model kit company of all time. Now, I know I give Figma praises for being the best anime figure company of all time, but when it comes to the model kits, Kotobukiya is the gods. That's where they reign. I'm not even gonna lie. This right here, this right here shows you that if Kotobukiya, why Kotobukiya is just great. And honestly, Brez, like looking at this kit after building it, it makes me wonder, why has Kotobukiya not thought about making a solid figure line? Like their model kits are beautiful. If their model kits are this great, then like if their model kits are this great, what do you think, what do you think their action, like their figurines would be if they was just to do like posable figures? They're already known for doing statues. And then on the other side they have their model kit frame girls, their frame arm girls, their school girls, and then they got the Mega Man line, which is still progressive and strong and beautiful. And just to show y'all that, I'm gonna throw X in right here. Here goes another Kotobukiya, just to show y'all how beautiful this Dark Magician Girl is. This, like, just let me show you how great this brand is. Model kit, model kit. Both of them don't look like model kits. They look like actual figures. And this just makes me wonder, why has Kotobukiya not started a figure line? This Dark Magician Girl and X is just proof that they would kill, that they would actually give both Figma and Figure Arts a run for their money. if they was to if they were to actually do if they was to actually do anime figures. I'm calling it right now. 2023, if Kodabu Kia announces that they're doing a posable figure line, they're going to literally have not only figure arts, which figure arts wouldn't be putting up a fight anyways, but yeah, not only figure arts, they will be giving figure arts, Figma, Reveltech, and I'm not I really don't count Mafex because they don't do anime figures, but I'm gonna say figure arts, Mafex, yeah, matter of fact, not Mafex, figure arts, Reveltech, and Figma will run for their money. But like they're gonna give every like snail shell, they're gonna give everybody a run for their money because and matter of fact, I'm not gonna name other companies. I'm gonna name companies that actually make licensed characters from like different franchises of anime. So that being Bandai, Good Smile, and Revoltech. Like Kotobukiya, if they was to announce an actual fucking line tomorrow, they're giving all three of them brands, and those are the big three. Those are the big three when it comes to posable anime figures. Kotobukiya, if they was let them make an announcement tomorrow, boy, that let them make an announcement tomorrow, bruh, they are going to be kicking ass. And I'm serious because like this figure is perfect. It's beautiful from the accessories and and the many things you can do with it. Because not to mention, Figma released a Dark Magician Girl like a few years back. I want to say 2018, 2019. And it was decent. It was beautiful. It was great. It looked like she was, matter of fact, I ain't gonna say it was great. It was perfect. It looked like she came out of the anime. But the Kotobukiya, this model kit alone destroys that figure. Well, I ain't gonna say it destroys that figure, but it literally gives that figure a run for its money because it comes with the only downside is it's a model kit. You have to build it to get to the greatness. You have to put in effort to get to the greatness of what you get out of the figure. So, but let this have been a figure released by Kotobukiya and all the accessories, the fact that you can remove her skirt, her cape, and her hat, and then and then you put the peg at the top of her head. Which Figma, when you take the hat off the Figma version, it looks like Moses is parting the Red Seas. Like she literally has a indent in the back of her head. That literally gets covered up. Like Kotobukiya gives you a peg to cover all of that up. Now, with that being said, this is a beautiful figure, a beautiful kit, and this just goes to show you why Kotobukiya, if they was to do their own figure lines, they're kicking every anime figure in the ass. And God, I'm not even gonna lie. I would drop both. Well, I would drop Bandai, Revoltech. Uh, I don't want to say I would drop Figma, but let's be real. I would pick Kotobukiya over all three of the brands. In all honesty, I would. The only one I would actually just stick with is Figma, but the other two I would just it would be easy passes for them because I already passed on those two brands. But dear God, yo, this is number 7, bruh. If you haven't got this kit, go out and get it because you're not going to be disappointed in it. Because once you get her built, the the ending results are literally amazing. Okay, now it's time to turn it up a notch. I done gave you all the regular waifus that we all know and love. Now it's time to get into super waifus, mecha waifus. Now it's time to get into the grittiness. Now for the people who really be collecting. Now, coming in at number 6, we have the Blade Queen herself, Windblade, the model kit, made by the great flame toys, and breasts. This right here is one of the most beautiful. I'm not even gonna say beautiful. There's no way to describe it. This right here is the, how can I put this? This is the best fucking model kit ever fucking made. That is the only way I can describe this. Okay, now, okay. When it comes to model kits, you always have some type of problem with them. And granted, this character with this design has went through multiple redesigns and like retooling and stuff like that due to woke SJWs on Twitter complaining about her butt cheeks being too big and round on a robot action figure. So yeah, she done went through a couple of changes because people want to complain. But even though they went and did all the changes, she still came out perfect, beautiful, great, sexy. Everything about this model kit is just beautiful. Like normally when a model kit is built, there's always something wrong with it. You either have like pieces that break easily, you have parts that fall off and pop apart easily, something won't stay on, or you have to cut down a lot of the seam lines to get everything to match together. This kit, on the other hand, though it was a bitch to build, I'm not gonna lie, it was a pain in the ass to build. You gotta really be dedicated dedicated for this one right here. She was a simple build, but she was a difficult build. Because normally I don't build robots. I mainly build just the anime girls. But I wanted the beauty out of this. I wanted to see the beauty in my hand. And I have two of these, by the way. So I have another one that's put up that hasn't been built. But I don't, and it's really just for backup, just in case if this one breaks or something happens to this one, mainly if it breaks. But like I said, this is one of the most sturdy model kits of all time. Like usually, and on top of that, not only is she sturdy, but she doesn't fall apart or nothing. She can pose. She can do anything. And I'll just give you an example. Like this right here. You can pose her any way you want and don't have to worry about nothing falling off, nothing falling apart. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Now, you will have to super glue. The only parts that was popping off, was popping apart with her was her upper forearms and her legs right here. So these right here, I super glued these in. I super glued that on, and I super glued her like her upper arms, her biceps together, because that right there is the only thing that was popping off of her. So other than that, you super glue those. You super glue these right here, her leg together to where it doesn't come off, and then you super glue this right here on her little knee brace, and then I had to also sand it down so it could sit flush. So yeah, I did have to do a little bit of tooling, a little bit of like retooling, but well, I ain't gonna say retooling. I had to do like a little bit of fixing to make her completely perfect. But other than that, she's perfect. She poses fine. Her only problem really is just standing. Now, I will say on mine, I did cut the wing jet off. I cut off the wing pack because I didn't really care for it. I didn't want it. But she has like a little set of wings that go on her back that you got to install. But I didn't want mine, so I ended up cutting it off. But like I said, other than that, she's perfect. She poses just fine. She hit the lewd poses that you want. Like, look at that. Because that's initially what this figure was designed for. It was designed to be a lewd figure of an Autobot, which is Windblade. So, and like always, people got on Twitter, they complained, and they ended up changing her look, mainly her ass, because she was too sexy. Yes. She was double cheeked up on an average Tuesday. She was double cheeked up on an average Tuesday and people couldn't handle it. So they had to retool her hips and her ass. So we got, instead of us getting like double rounded cheeks that was all completely in one on the leg right here and right here, we got what we have now. But it's still perfect. She poses just fine. And her butt cheeks, her ass still looks perfect. It looks perfect. It looks like it's just hanging out like a beautiful ass does on a female, especially a female character. And it looks, this is just, this model kit right here is the best model kit of all time. And I'm also looking forward to getting the RC because RC is coming out this year, later on in 2023. So around May, June, somewhere around in between March to June. In between June and March, we're gonna get the RC. And she's gonna be beautiful. Because if this one right here is great, just imagine how beautiful the RC is gonna be. Now, with that being said, if you do not have this, I recommend you go out and try to find it if you can, because she's already expensive as hell. But this right here is the best model kit of Windblade that you will ever get. And especially if you're a person who likes lewd figures and you want you a good lewd robot and you don't mind putting in the extra work to build her to get to the greatness. Because yeah, you can look around and try to find a figure of her that's already built, but it's not going to be as enjoyable as building it yourself and then being able to enjoy it. And that's exactly what I did. I built it and I enjoy it mostly because I put the work in to build it. And it's great. She's perfect. She's beautiful. You will have to super glue a couple of parts on here and there, but that's mainly because it's a model kit. Certain things do pop off. I had to super glue the crotch piece on. I had to super glue the legs together, and I had to super glue the knee brace or the knee guard together. And I had to super glue the biceps together. But that's about it. Other than that, everything else is beautiful. Oh yeah, I also super glued the boobs on. So with that being said, this is a beautiful model kit. If you want a good Windblade that's sexy and beautiful, go get this. Or if you don't want this, but you still want a good Windblade, go get the other one that came out, which is kind of like the Nice E, but made by a different brand. But with that being said, moving on to number 5, because bruh, this figure is beautiful. Go out and get her. Moving on. Now, coming in at number 5, we have two of the greatest mech queens. We have Queen Mech Mocha and Muka. And a lot of people we really don't know which is which. Let's be real. All we know is when they first came out, people said Mocha, and then people call her Muka. So I'm assuming one of them, one is called Mocha, the other one is called Muka. I believe this one's Muka and that one's Mocha. So basically, this right here is two figures in one. You get an alternate headpiece to where if you don't want this head right here, hold on, where's my little thing? If you don't want this head right here, you could take that off and you could swap it to this head right here, which are two completely different heads for two completely different characters. So with that being said, they basically threw in a gimmick that would persuade you into buying a second one so you could throw the head on the second one and have two of them. Now, obviously, that's what they meant to do because I obviously did exactly just that. I bought this one first. Well, actually, no, I bought this one first, put the head on this one, and I said, well, I want the second one. So I want to put this head on another body and have two of them. I was going to get the CDL because it was just a lot more cheaper. It just tried to do a modification there, but I said no. I had to get another Firebird. So I went and got her, put the head on her. Now we got Mocha and Muka, or Muka and Mocha, whichever. I don't know which is which, but obviously they're both called Mocha and Muka, or Muka and Mocha. And as you can see, they are both pretty much redesigns of the Nice E. And on top of that, Firebird is also another company that's actually finna start taking over this year, because they got a new figure coming out called the Sexy Cat Lady Scientist that everybody in the toy community is talking about but don't know nothing about, and ain't bought neither of the previous figures from the company. But now they're probably finna start trying to circle back and look at these. But me being me being the hentai god, me being the top guppy that I am, I had to bring in the original, because not only do I got the CDL, I have Nice E, the originator, the original, and Brez. Like this right here, I believe that, bruh, honestly, I believe that Mecha Anime Girl figurines are finna start taking over 2023, because a lot of them came out last year, and I believe, and honestly, we can see that a lot more is finna come out this year. So yeah, get ready for that. Get ready to start seeing a lot of Mecha Girls. These two figures are beautiful. And obviously, as you can see with Nice E, these two are obviously just redesigns of her. And she's technically she's technically a deviant, or I ain't gonna say deviant art, but she's pretty much a freestyle RC. She technically was meant to be RC. And that's what these are. They're technically her. Now, what makes these figures great is not only are they mecha girls with big boobs, with big titties, but they can transform, and they're sexy, and they got bunny ears and cat ears that they come with, and they come with weapons, which is hella accessories. And on top of that, they got titties, nigga. They got anime titties. So boob bots are literally finna start taking over 2023. And not only that, these are top waifus. I don't care what nobody say. Like, now I know people gonna be like, how can a robot mech be a waifu? Look at Nice E. Look at Mocha. Look at Muka, or Muka, or in Mocha. Whichever which is which. I don't know which is Mocha, which is Muka. But look at them and tell me that you would not want these as your waifus. You cannot look at these and tell me that they are not waifu material. Just look at this. Side by side. You have the original right here. Then you have them. And you know what? Should I do it? Should I do it? Matter of fact, no, I don't have the room to do it. I don't have the room. But I was gonna bring the CDL Nice E on camera, but I'm not gonna do it. But yes, these are all great figures. Now, she has been discontinued. If you want these two right here, or if you want this one right here, I recommend you go out and buy her and see as fast as you can before she gets discontinued. Because when they get discontinued, they're going to go up in price. Because she's like, this figure right here is like $300, which is the reason why I say go get the CDL. So get a good look at it. This is a $300 figure now. This is like a 2 to 3. You're not going to find this figure anywhere under $200. You're going to see her for $250 to $300. And when you could have got her for like $150. And these two right here are already like $150. They're like $150, $170. So technically, these two are already at the $200 mark. So they're already going to go up even more. So if you haven't got these two, go out and get them before they reach beyond or past $250. Or if you really want this one right here, like I said, matter of fact, I'll do it. I'll do it. Go get the CDL. Because this right here, though she is a knockoff, she's still just as good as the original. So, with that being said, look at these. Look at these. These are all great waifu figures. And I know I'm kind of getting away from the premise of what this video is supposed to be about, but I'm sorry, I just can't help it. I'm talking about something I love right now. So this one is discontinued. You can still go out and get her for a good price. You can get her for like $80 to $90. So, like I said, go get these if you want them. These are great figures. They transform. They come with good accessories. They're sexy as hell. They got boobs and they got bunny ears and cat ears. And if you don't want these, you can go get her. Either way, these are great figures. All of these are waifu figures. And she was gonna be a top 10, but I put her in I put her in the nomination list, or best nomination. But okay, either way, moving on to number 4, because bruh, I don't want this video is already gonna be long. I don't want to be as long as it already is. So go out, buy Mocha and Muka, or buy CDL RC. Either way, you're not going to be disappointed with none of these figures. These are all great figures. But these right here, this one right here is my top 10. This is the one I'm really nominating as my top 10 of best figures of 2022, because she's sexy as fucking hell and she has multiple heads to where you can make a second counterpart to go with her. So just look at that. You can see the different sassness and character in the both of them. Just look at it. And then you got her and her. So coming in at number 4 as top 10 waifu figures of 2022. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I really don't know nothing about this character. I don't know nothing about where she comes from, her lore, nothing about her. I literally know nothing. I'm dead ass. But I do know her name is I want to say it's Valletta. Valletta? Hold on. Literally had to dig up the whole entire book. Okay, yeah, her name is Valletta, which is another reason why I say, why do Kotobukiya not make figurines? This right here is another model kit that is like I said, would literally slay if it was a figure. Like this is beautiful. This is literally beautiful. Like, she is amazing. I don't know nothing about this character, but just look at how beautiful this character is. And she comes with hella accessories. She has multiple faces. Now, of course, she is a model kit, which means, like I just said, you're going to have to put in the work to build her to get to the greatness that you want. But once you build her, you will be satisfied. Her name is Valletta. This is a great model kit made by Kotobukiya. Go pick her up. She is amazing. I don't know much about the character, but she is a beautiful waifu. She's obviously a succubus, as you can see from the tail and the wings and stuff like that. And she is a beautiful figurine. Like I said, I don't know nothing about the character, but I do know it's a great figure. And for those of y'all that love these type of figures and with these character designs, go pick her up. She's beautiful. She's amazing. She's not really my type of waifu, but she might be your type of waifu. But like I said, it's a beautiful figure, and I just had to mention it because this is right here is it just shows the greatness that Kotobukiya could do. Like I said, like I just showed you with Dark Magician Girl and X. Look at this character. She's perfect. She's beautiful. She's amazing. And the only downfall I will say that I have with this model kit is her head pops off too easy. Her head does not stay on. Like it takes like next to nothing. Like you try to make her look up, her head just slides right off. Like it just slides right off, like without any type of friction, which is like, yeah, like right there. That's the only downfall. But then again, it's a model kit. It's gonna have stuff like that happen. So, but with that being said, Valletta made by Valletta made by Kotobukiya. Go pick her up. She's a great kit. Like I said, once you build her, you will get to the greatness. Now, moving into number 3. We have the Milk Queen herself. I forgot her name. Toppy Gal. Bro, oh my God, I ought to be ashamed of myself. Snail Shell's gonna be mad at me. But we have Toppy Gal, the Milk Queen herself. And this right here, yes, is a top tier waifu figure of 2022. This is probably one of the most, I ain't gonna say it was one of the most expected or most anticipated, but when it first came out, people, like I said, in the toy community who don't collect these type of figures, when they seen her, they all went out and got her. And boy, has she sold out heavily. And I'm not even gonna say just sold out. She's hard to get now. Like, you're not gonna find this figure unless it's like 115 to 120, maybe 130. So yeah, if you missed out on this, man, you try to look for them scalper. Like I would say, just either hope for a re-release or just get that scalper price. But yes, this right here is a beautiful queen, a beautiful figure. Not only that, but she is beautiful because this is a tan anime girl figure in a bikini who is sexy. And we hardly get, and I repeat, we hardly get any beautiful tan anime girl figures unless it's like, say, characters from like Fate, like, yeah, like Fate, like Figma has done made a couple from like Fate and Yukikaze, but yeah, we hardly get any beautiful tan anime girls. It's really just the pale skin anime girls that we get. And having her, this one right here, this is just beautiful. Like, she looks beautiful. She looks amazing. And everything about her is just perfect. Now, yes, the posability is not all that dynamic, but it's not meant for that. It's literally just, it's a collectible. But I will say that the jacket that goes with her is beautiful. Her guns that she comes with, her accessories are amazing. The only downfall to her really is just the hands. The hands are the only thing I really don't care for. But if you have a certain pair of hands that you want to throw on her, like some black gloved hands that look better than the one she comes with, I would recommend you do that. Or if you can get your hands on some tan skin hands that match her skin tone, I would say do that. But getting some hands, if I can speak, getting some hands that match her skin tone is gonna kind of be hard to do. So yeah, but yes, Toppy Gal from Snail Shell, which is another upcoming anime figure company, which I said, it just goes to show, like, bruh, there are way more anime companies out there that are making anime figures, like, other than Figma and Figure Arts, and this right here is one of them. And like I said, like, what really sells this figure is she's a tan skin anime girl. We hardly get any of those. She's beautiful. Everything about her is amazing. And not only that, she poses quite well. But with that being said, we're going to move on to number, I want to say, what is this, like number 3? So yeah, we're going to move on to number 2. But yes, if you can find this figure for a good price, I recommend you get her before she hits $200 to $300 like the Wolf Girl. So yes, like Toppy Gal made by Snail Shell. Go pick her up. Now, coming in at number 2, back to the anime action figure gods themselves. Figma, or Good Smile Company, aka Max Factory, aka Figma. The greatest company to put out the best anime figures of all time, especially when it comes to females. And breasts, like, hold on, it's only right. It's only right. I gotta put both. Here we have Sophia. Is it starring? Sophia starring from Figma. One of the best Figma. Matter of fact, no, this is the best Figma. This is the best. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. This is the best Figma figure to ever come out, and I stand on that. This is the best Figma figure to come out by Max Factory because, bruh, not only is she super posable and she comes with a bunch of accessories, but it's a bunny girl suit and she's damn near, bruh, she has titties out. She's half dressed. She's a sexy, etchy, hentai-ish type character. Figma, now a lot of people say Figma don't like they focus on nothing but hentai characters and shit like that, but bro, it shows you that a lot of y'all don't really collect because Figma hardly makes characters like this. Like the closest they're gonna get to a character like this is gonna be Super Sonico, and they only made like two of those, and those were back in like 2015, 14. So yeah, and then they made a Slan figure from Berserk. But other than that, we don't get no figures that look like this right here. That's half dressed, that's sexy, big titties out. Like usually Figma either makes schoolgirl figures or they make Hatsune Miku's or they'll make like video game characters. They don't go this explicit. And I say this as a humble like Good Smile like collector. Like, yeah, they'll make a female character with a rack, but she's not gonna have a rack and be half dressed, which they have done some before. But like, I think the only one I can really think of who just had like a complete big rack was what's her name? Honda Futayo from Horizon in the Middle. That's the only character I can really think that Figma has done with a big with big ass titties. But she was fully clothed. So, like I said, like Figma, they don't matter of fact, they don't make figures this explicit unless it's a statue. Unless it's a statue or a scale figure, basically. Like this right here is them, I guess, telling us, hey, we're finna move on to making more adult, more adult type anime girl figures, not just the generic high school waifus and stuff like that you see from Fate Stay Night and all of that. This is damn near like second acts level hentai. Like this ain't just like a regular SH Figure Arts or Figma bikini suit anime girl. Like like you see with the Super Sonico or the what was the other ones? Or any of the Fate figures or the Konosuba figures. Like, and honestly, I could see it with the Konosuba figures. When they made Aqua and Darkness in those suits, like usually they added some thickness to them. Like we hardly get any of those type of figures like that, and even the Fate figures. But this right here is something they normally don't do, and which is why I say I love this figure. And she's super posable, and she comes with hella accessories, and she's an original character by Good Smile. So that right there is just more of like, and then on top of that, she has transformations, which those are also finna get figure releases. And she has like other characters that's in the little series that she got going. So they're also finna get figures made. So with that being said, Brez, like, go get this figure. This is just beautiful. This is like the best Figma of all time, because it's just something that's out of the box of what they do. Because like Figma has never made a character like this. So, well, they never made a character as explicit in posable figure form like this outside of Super Sonico. And with that being said, Brez, it's time to move on to my number one, because this is what, number two? It's time to get down to my number one. Hopefully y'all can guess who my number one is. Now, moving on. Now, getting into my number one. Now, a lot of y'all must not have seen this coming, but if you actually know me and you've been watching my videos for a while, you would know that this right here is my number one figure. Reasoning why? Because Tamanin Asagi, this is pretty much what started my whole entire page off. If you see my first review, you will know this is right here is what brought in all the support and views to my page. And it's only right that I put her in at number one. This, even though she wasn't the first figure I reviewed, it was Asagi, but this is the second one. Asagi came out in late 2020 and 2021. But so basically I can't put her on this list, but I can put Yukikaze on this list. And Yukikaze is a beautiful waifu queen. Not only is she like a waifu queen, but she's from one of the best hentais, if not my favorite hentai of all time, Tamanin Asagi. Not only that, this figure is just beautiful. She poses well. She has multiple accessories. She has swappable parts. On top of that, like I said with Toppy Girl, she's a tan skin figure. We hardly get any type of tan anime girls, and Yukikaze coming in being a tan skin anime girl, a petite anime girl with a different body build, and then on top of that, just a waifu queen throughout the hentai series. It's only right that we give her the number one spot. This figure is beautiful. It is amazing. The only downfall to her really is just her hair. Her hair gets in the way for extreme posabilities. And once you had her a while, her belly parts and stuff starts to fall off. Because if you've watched the review, you know that to put her extra parts on, you have to remove her belly and you got to remove her chest. Her belly kind of pops off a little bit too easily for my liking. And mine is kind of getting to the point to where it just pops off randomly, just with a little bit of any type of touch, which is annoying. But I will say, if you want to go the route of super gluing it, then you can super glue it. If you want to take that risk. But I'm not going to let that get like cloud my judgment. I mean, it's meant for, like, the parts are meant to be swapped, and it only makes sense that over time that the parts are going to get a little bit loose and start falling apart. Now, with that being said, I was going to showcase some head swaps between her and Toppy Gal, but I'll do that for another video. But on top of that, yes, this is my number one. This is the queen of, well, I ain't gonna say she's not over Asagi, but this right here is the queen waifu figure of 2022. Yukikaze is the queen, and she is number one. And this right here is a figure that I will recommend you all get out and go get if you're willing to spend $200, because she is up there in price. Or you can be one of those guys and go get the bootleg and tell yourself that the bootleg is better than the authentic because it's a lot more cheaper. But me personally, I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy me another authentic version before they get too hard to find and you start having people that's selling the bootleg for the price of the authentic version because they think people won't be able to tell which is which. So with that being said, there goes my top 10 waifu list of all 20, like my top 10 waifu lists from 2020 figures of all time. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And this is your boy Guppy Boy. I am signing outo. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will catch you guys next time. And I will admit, dear God, making this video literally wore me out. Like literally. Like bruh. But other than that, hope you guys enjoy it. There's more videos to come. And I'll catch you guys next time.